Yo guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day spoilers. If you haven't watched it yet, do watch it. And I'm going to be talking about each character in detail. For example, each character's journey, and this video is most likely going to be about what's next for them in the Marvel universe and what does Spider-Man set up. And Spider-Man Brand New Day does set up a lot of things in this movie. So we will go character-wise. First up, I'm gonna go with Ned and MJ. In this story, the climax, chef kiss. But I was just gonna talk about MJ and Spider's story is still quite complicated. Obviously we've seen that scene that cut us off so badly where MJ and Spider are together and we're like, oh my god, she's remembered it, and then we realize it was actually Jean Grey possessed her. And then obviously when she finds the letter, she says that she doesn't have the feelings anymore. They most likely, she says that the previous MJ might have liked you, but me, I don't remember anything about you. But what we see is that straight after that, she does take her back to the apartment, obviously where he meets Ned Leeds, and at the end as well, she's sitting on the rooftop, and yeah, maybe there is something still there, and in the future, maybe they might come back. I think what they should do is maybe bring another love angle for Tom Holland Spider-Man, maybe Dren, maybe Black Cat or whatever, but the main one is always MJ. It's how in the comic books it is. Like with Spider Man, he does have other love interests, but at the end of the day, he does come back with MJ. MJ's always his main person, but obviously they sometimes break up or they go apart with each other's and stuff like that. That's what happened in the comics. So maybe they'll go in that way. I don't know. I would love to see MJ and Spider Man come back together, and that's what the whole audience was hoping for as well. The the seat cinema I was in. And yeah, and then when that scene happens, people were very disappointed, but it was a good scene though. Very good. Then I'm talking about Ned Leeds, that and sequence. The whole theater started clapping when at the end we see Spider-Man go to Ned. They do the iconic handshake, and I think he remembers. I think people will say, "Does he remember or not?" I think he remembers because when they were doing that handshake, I think something clicks in his head, and the spell breaks, and then he remembers, and then he says Peter. That's another thing that could be that maybe there's something between MJ and Peter that happens that maybe MJ's things break as well, and that moment was so iconic as well. And it was like, and also Tom Holland did say that there's one person who still remembers Peter. So is that Ned Leeds? But it also can be another character who I'm now going to talk about is Bruce Banner's Hulk. What we saw is Bruce Banner, I think, has forgotten him. We saw when he came in as well and everything. And then first we see Professor Hulk, who's what you say, who's Jean Grey's in her head, possessed by Jean Grey, and he's fighting him and everything like that. And then I think because of the magic Jean Grey was doing, something messed up in his head, and then came out the raging Hulk that we all wanted to see for a while. And that whole action sequence was so good as well. And the tension, the way they built that whole scene was so, I will say, so well done. It was so amazingly done. That whole scene they made was amazing. I would say the way they showed it and stuff. And as I was saying, Hulk was another person. I don't think that was Bruce Banner. I think that was Hulk. I think Hulk first of all let go, and it was Hulk who looked at him and said, "Peter." But the thing is, Hulk and Spider Man never met. Even Bruce Banner, like I'm talking about, uh, before this movie. But it could be off screen. They had interaction during Endgame funeral. But without that, and maybe he had to talk with Bruce Banner, and that's where he knows him from. And yeah, and maybe Hulk obviously is inside of Bruce Banner, so he might have seen it as well. So that's what I'm talking about. That one, and then should we talk about Punisher? My one of my favorite, I think, once in this movie was Punisher. Punisher was here for comic relief, and he does a great job. I will say Punisher and Spider Man's dynamic, I think, was one of the best dynamics I've seen out of all the Tom Holland movies. I love the Iron Man and Spider one they had, and they shade a lot, but this one just felt so good. The banter, the way they interacted with each other, it was genuinely so amazing. And and another thing I love is we finally see a different version of Punisher. That ending was so funny where Spider Man literally goes down. That whole moment was so amazing. When Spider Man goes out, everybody's with their flag. That kid moment. Oh my god, that moment was so amazing, and I genuinely enjoyed it so much. And I think that was that was his moment. Like, yo, that is amazing. And then Punisher's they're like, and it was like, it looked so amazing. And yeah, and overall, I think he was very fun in it. And yeah, but what next for Punisher? Most likely we'll see him in Daredevil season 2. Oh yeah, also with Hulk. I think what next with Hulk will be is we know that he is in a jail now. They've put him in a jail where there's already the Red Hulk and also the leader. So it will be interesting to see. I think they're gonna show him in Secret Wars. I think he's not in Doomsday. But moving back to Punisher, yeah, and I would love to see Punisher and Spider Man's dynamic even more in other movies and series. And another one I want to see is Daredevil and Spider Man interact. Please, man. They yeah, they cooked with the Punisher and Spider Man. It was such amazing. Like their duo was amazing. I enjoyed it a lot. The banter, the everything, and yeah, especially when they go fighting Hulk as well, and there's a security camera, and Punisher is still like, oh, and it's like so amazing. Oh, this movie is. I mean, I might watch it again someday. But yeah, so yeah, and then we move on to the big one, the main villain, not villain, you can say, Jean Grey. Oh my god, like the way they did the reveal, the way they did everything of this character was so perfect. At the starting, we'll see that her powers were she could hop into each person, but her powers do get better till the end when she gets tortured and everything. And even that scene is so hard hitting. The best thing about this movie is this movie, especially emotionally, hits you hard. That end sequence when a DODC guy um, catches him. Obviously, Spider Man catches him, and he is investigating him because what his aim is trying to make weapons out of these mutants. Even in I forgot the guy's name, but even in the comics, that's what he does. He literally has an anti-mutant task force, and that's what his job is, just to grab the mutants and yeah, basically. And in here, it's similar. He's a bad person, that character. And yeah, and when he was literally torturing him, and she was on the chair, and then she looks up in the sky, and she sees the vent VMAX, and she remembers that was the last thing um, her sister told her, and that's why she just breaks loose because she just remembers like what torture she went through, and she couldn't think of anything. And her last words were VMAX because she was such in like she was getting so much tortured that the only thing she could see was that thing, and she couldn't even read that fully, and that hit so hard. And I think that the way Sadie Singh played Jean Grey's character is so amazing, and then that ending conversation between Spider-Man and Jean Grey, that was so amazing. Even like that May Parker, Aunt May one when she enters Spider's brain, and she sits down and she's talking with her, and I love that sequence when Jean is like, "Who is there for me?" and then Spider-Man says, "I am there," and that's the moment where I was like, Spider-Man has now, like, we've always seen someone be there for Spider-Man. This time we see Spider-Man be there for someone else. And what this show is, Spider-Man is not that Spider-Boy anymore. He is he is the next big person now. He's the guy who will lead the Avengers. He's the guy who will lead the youngsters, like Jean Grey, who most likely will be an X-Men. He is the one who is people are going to look up to him. Like, do you remember how Iron Man was, Tony Stark's? How Spider-Man used to look up at Iron Man? That's what Tom Holland Spider-Man is now. People look up to him. That's what we saw at the end of the scene as well, where everybody is flagging the waves. It was so nice. And also, it was so iconic when Sadie Sink's character is giving breath to him through magically when he was obviously got shot and Punisher took. Even when Punisher took it, that was so comic book accurate. Him and his arms and everything. It's like going and oh my god, this movie is like you're reading a comic book. It's so amazing. But overall, Sadie Sink, what's next for him? Jean Grey, X Men, 110%. Maybe we'll see her in Secret Wars. The casting is being done if you don't know, and most likely we might hear her in D23, but 110% X Men is going to be the next where we will see her, and I would love to see her interactions more with Spider Man as well. And yeah, and with other characters as well. We'd love to see where her journey goes, and I want where the Phoenix thing will happen. Oh my god, I can't wait, man. It's Marvel. Exciting times ahead. I think after Thunderbolts, Marvel has generally changed his style, and they're going back to how they were and why they were successful. Because that's what they used to do in back of the movies. They used to intercross characters, maybe bring some characters in a movie before they have their standalone movies. But since Endgame, they stopped doing that, and that's where they faulted. Like for example, remember Spider-Man came in Civil War before his own movie came out, and that was so amazing to see. And they did it with a lot of ones. Black Panther, they did it with, and it actually was very successful because people get excited. Like for example, now people are very going to be very excited for X-Men because we've seen Jean Grey, and also they will be excited for projects where Punisher will be because they've seen Punisher. So it is a very good thing what they did. And oh yeah, there was also a cameo of Florence Pugh's character. And yeah, that was a very funny one. I would say I enjoyed it a lot. It was like a funny little cameo and things like that. And yeah, but yeah, you can see she does sell operations in Sona after she's in the New Avengers as well, and most likely, of course, we're gonna see her in Doomsday, and yeah, and obviously I didn't talk about Spider Man that much because I literally it was Spider Man's movie. In the last one, I talked about him, and even in here, I have talked about him. Spider Man's journey in this whole movie, in a simple word, was how to go forward, how to leave everything behind and move forward and grow and accept himself that he can be Spider Man and Peter Parker. And yeah, and he accepts that mutation and all of that. Obviously, for some people, maybe the whole mutant one might feel a bit low because how they were building up, and it was mostly like it was only for the whole fight ninja ones. But I still did love it a lot and like the whole concept. It was quite good. And now I think in the future movies we will see him more. He's very powerful now. I don't want to see him. I want to see him other projects. How much more powerful will he be, and how what will that mutation do to him? Like how bigger will it go? Most likely he is gonna get the Venom as well, which is gonna be Secret Wars. I think. Oh, exciting times ahead, and I think Miles Morales they might introduce as well. I think it would be a great idea to introduce Miles in Secret Wars as well. I think it will be amazing to see him, and yeah, and then we move on to the post-credit scene, which some people thought that it was not that important, but it is. Because if you think about it, the Spidey tracker, first Spider is in Queens. That's our Tom Holland Spider. And then it starts unidentified, something like that. Spider unidentified. Then it glitches. And then we see a Spider-Man stranded in space. Now, theories, rumors, a lot. I did my TikTok where I was did the post credit explanation, and somebody said, "Could it be Miles Morales to Spider-Man?" I was like, "Could be," but when I think about it, the thing is, I don't think they're gonna introduce in Doomsday, especially if he is coming Doomsday, they're gonna introduce that Spider-Man that quick. I think it can be either Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield because what they're trying to do with Doomsday and most likely Secret Wars as well is they're trying to give them a soft, not launch, but like a soft goodbye. You get what I mean? And then some characters will stay, but I think some characters they will let go. Like the X-Men, I think are going. Most likely Tobey Maguire's Andrew Garfield Spider-Man we might see for the last time. And just let them go. Like all these characters, because obviously they're making the new X-Men. And just give people the last proper goodbye that they deserved with these characters who have these nostalgic attachments to. And I think that's why I think it might be either Tobey Maguire's or Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And I think it's Toby's because there were heavy rumors that Toby Spider-Man is appearing in Doomsday. And also at the end, it says Spider-Man will return. It doesn't say when it will return, which one will it return. So I am very excited to see what happens. But overall, Brand New Day was an amazing experience. I enjoyed it a lot, as I said in my last video. And at this video, I just wanted to talk about the characters, what I think will happen next in them stuff. And yeah, until then, I will see you guys again. Until then, peace!